Good evening and welcome to the first of two Beyond the Front Page shows brought to you by CU Community College, shown on Spectrum Verizon Fios, as well as ARMA, the Auburn Regional Media Access, and Win 89.1, the college's radio station. I'm your host, Guy Cosentino. On Friday, May 16th, the Auburn Education Foundation will hold its annual Hall of Distinction Awards at the Hilton Garden Inn. They will recognize 5 alumni from Auburn schools who've made their mark on this community or on the nation, if not the world. They've had a great group of individuals over the decade and a half, and we've asked 2 of their coordinators for this, of the event, but more importantly, their board president, Janie Hutchinson, and vice president, Bonny Blair, to come on to talk about not only who the award winners are, but how you can help the Education Foundation, and as well, what do they fund. Welcome back.
Thank you for having us.
You're almost there with the most often guests. I think Jeff Perzola is still number 1. So for those who may not know, what is the Auburn Education Foundation?
The Auburn Education Foundation is a 501c3 not-for-profit, and our mission is to raise money to fund creative, unique programs, projects that teachers submit a grant idea for, and they're typically projects that the district does not have the money to fund. So we have had
so tight budget years, you're the go-to if you're going to do something different. And we'll talk at the end about some of the programs. How long have you been in existence?
We've been in existence since 2003.
Okay, so you're on your 22nd year. Who sits on your board, other than the 2 of you? You have sat on the board combined 57 years? No. It seems that.
It seems that way.
If we had Mickey Post here, it would be 76 years.
I have been there probably since 2009 or 2010.
And I joined in 2014.
Okay. So, but your board is mainly made up of?
Well, we have
all walks of life,
right,
really. We have an attorney, we have a person who owns an insurance company, we have
a banker,
a couple retired teachers, maybe more than a couple retired teachers.
I know Mr. Kennedy has been, who was at West Middle.
Right, well, and Mickey Post.
Mickey Post. So, and you raise, how much money do you raise in a given year? Is there do you have a goal every year?
No, it varies. It varies according to the fundraiser, according to our annual appeal, which
but we can tell you how much has been given away.
Sure.
This year
I was going to ask that later, but now's the perfect time.
Up to this point in time.
Oh, up to this point in time, we've given away over $350,000
and that's
to
for
the
a variety of programs, from STEM-oriented to all the arts and the arts.
The arts, everything.
And do you have paid staff, or is it all volunteer?
It is all volunteer.
Okay, I just
it has been since 2014. There was paid staff originally, and then it just it became that we were raising money to pay the staff, so we opted to go all volunteer. And it has worked. It has worked for 10 years, 10, 11 years.
Don't tell the district that.
But I would like to add this, because I just want to say this. So much of the success is due to the leadership that Janie has provided. I'm not just saying that. I truly mean it. She took over when we let go of the paid staff, and it was a difficult job when that is not what your job has ever been. Yeah, and she dragged me in there too.
Right.
So,
but it's worked, and I think it's worked because of the dedication of the people who considered.
Does the superintendent of schools, do they sit on the board too?
They sit on the board as an ex officio member.
So what we really invited you to, because about a month from this week, today's tax day, the 15th, as we tape this, but tomorrow, about a month from now, you have your Distinguished Alumni event. First of all, what is it, for those who may not have tuned in the last 10 times?
Well, this was established to recognize distinguished alumni. That is, people who have graduated from Auburn public schools who have distinguished themselves through their career, through their philanthropy, through their volunteerism, any way like that.
So do you get nominations? Do people write and say it should go to Melody Brooks, I'll say, the first one we'll talk about, but people write you to say,
We have a nomination form on our website
And when do you take nominations?
all year long.
Okay, so you have a rotating list that.
We do.
would-
We
but-
do, we keep a list.
We
And
do.
are you averaging 5 a year? Are you trying to keep to 5 a year?
It varies. It
Because I know you've
varies.
had some husband and wives.
Between
Right.
5 and 7,
seven.
in order to keep the evening, because each of our honorees does get time to speak. And so in order to keep the evening at a reasonable
Moving.
length,
Okay.
yeah.
So this is going to be held when? Let's go through the where, when.
It's Friday, May 16th at 7 p.m., Hilton Garden Inn, and it's, I'm going to say light hors d'oeuvres and dessert reception. There's a cash bar available. And your tickets, you can go to auburnedfoundation.org, or you can mail a check to AEF, P.O. Box 592, Auburn 13021. They're $35 each, and we haven't changed
I was going to
pricing.
say, you haven't changed the
Changed.
pricing.
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. So there are 5 honorees. I'd like to go through them all, and if you could tell us a little bit about them. I know that if you go to the website, you can click on the plus sign, and it gives you a paragraph or two. These are in no particular order other than what's on your website. They're in the order of what I saw going down.
Right.
So Melody Brooks is class of 76. Who is she?
She formed the New Perspectives Theater Company, which is a multiracial ensemble dedicated to using theater as an agent for positive social change. And it's in New York City, and she was recently honored with awards for given to a woman whose work in theater has helped promote social, cultural, or political change. So she's quite active in that.
And I noticed in this group, and I'll get to all, you have a couple of 70s, you got a 90, you got an 88. Do you try to do by decade, or are you just looking for the right person at the right time?
It's a mix.
It's a
Really a
mix.
mix.
Yeah.
We try to look at all of the queue, so to speak, of all those who have received a written nomination for.
Okay.
Sometimes people just mention a name, and we direct them to the website to write a written, and it's very simple nomination form. But we look at not only maybe when they graduated, but what field they were involved in.
So we're going to go from arts to sciences. Dr. John Biziano, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right, class of 77, associated with the University of Michigan.
Correct.
So who is he?
For a long time, he was associated with Strong
Okay.
here in Rochester, and he has been awarded and recognized really nationwide, maybe even throughout the world,
Right.
as an expert in hypertension. And he really wrote the book on how to control and make that disease more manageable for people. And so he's recognized for that. Severe and refractory hypertension. He's the author of more than 115 journal articles. And
And 3 books.
And 3
3
books, yes.
So when he comes to the event on May 16th, he's going to tell us how we can all get rid of our hypertension?
We hope so.
I hope so, okay. Let's jump 20 years later. Nicole Murley, which is fascinating. I'm hoping she still has a job today.
Well.
Nicole Murley is an inspector general, and I don't say that facetiously, by the way, with the EPA. So she's a class of 97. Who is she?
Correct. Well, she, as you said, an attorney for the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. She was Inspector General, oversaw audits, evaluations, investigations, functions of the Office of the Inspector General. And prior to that, she served for 15 years at the U.S. Department of Justice as a senior litigation counsel with the Office of Immigration, Litigation, and Civil Defense. And she was awarded the Civil Division John W. Douglas Award for pro bono service, so which we thought was quite impressive.
Something just different from your
So
group.
brilliant
Right.
attorney.
So in Washington, let's go closer to home. If I don't think anybody doesn't know this name, Bernie Simmons, class of 76, owner of Balloons Restaurant, partner in A.T. Wally's, downtown, gives a lot to this community.
He
Who
does.
Can, and I don't want to take your thunder.
You know, Balloons, the iconic restaurant, he has kept that alive and vibrant for 3 decades through his hard work and through his Some of his family members are also involved with that, his daughter, I believe. And then when they decided to build A.T. Wally downtown, a lot of people looked at that a little bit askance because it didn't seem like downtown was established enough. But what he really did was he brought a renaissance. And since he built A.T. Wally and they were doing so well, that encouraged other people to come downtown.
And so last but not least is Gina, and I don't know if I'm going to say Guerrera.
Gina Guerra.
And she is the class of 88. So she is with another long-standing Central New York Finger Lakes business. Who is she?
Go ahead, you know her.
Gina, I think she is the epitome of what we look for, where an Auburn public school education can take you, because she started working at Wegmans in high school and literally has worked her way up, and now she's Senior Vice President of Operations for all the Central New York stores and oversees 4,000 plus employees, and she is very, very highly regarded, because I've spoken to some of the people within the Wegmans offices since she received this honor, and they're just so pleased. They're so pleased.
So we've got about 2 minutes left. I want to ask a couple of who, what, and wheres for the event. You can still buy tickets by going to the Auburn Education Foundation website.
Right,
and
website.
And you can purchase tickets there. Can you purchase them anywhere else other than from board members?
You certainly, if you know any of the board members, or you can mail a check to AEF,
And all
P.O.
of,
Box 592.
and all of the recipients will also do something different that most organizations don't do. You bring them to Auburn High School, correct?
do.
Yes.
So
Friday-
tell us what happens there.
Friday morning, they will be matched with a class, and they will give a presentation, and that is frequently what they really like the most. When we get any feedback, everyone always mentions going to the high school and working with
Well,
the
it's a very
students.
fun event, and the students, if you have, I attended one of them as a guest, not as a recipient, but as a guest, and the teacher did a wonderful job incorporating what the speaker said and then having the students ask questions. Real quickly, like I said, a minute and a half or less, what do you fund?
We fund the grants, and so far this year we have 2 cycles. We have the fall cycle 24, fall of 24, and now we just finished awarding the spring cycle of 25. And this past fall we awarded almost $21,000 in grants. There were 12 grants for teachers, and then 3 special district grants that we
Can you
give
give
to
us
the
2
district.
examples?
Let's do the bike.
Oh, yeah, the grant to the district was the smoothie bike, where they purchased a bicycle, like a stationary bicycle. Bonny did it. You get on it and you bicycle, and it makes a smoothie, and then you have a healthy smoothie at the end of
I
your
think we
ride.
need to bring that into the studio so that everybody can try
The,
it.
the smoothies, though, are made with yogurt, not with
Right.
ice cream.
Right.
So
Second item, just give us one last one. The final.
The cute one, they did a postcard, pen pal, where fifth grade, sixth grade, fourth grade class in Auburn wrote postcards to kids in a class in Skaneateles, and they went back and forth with writing postcards.
Pen pals, it sounds like 1940 again.
Well,
isn't
and
it a
it's great.
wonderful thing?
It is.
That we're actually
Not
communicating through
sure
the
they're
written
using
word?
cursive, but
I'm not sure of that, and the great part about that was that Teresa Hercher of the postcard project, she donated the postcards.
so they're all Auburn-themed postcards
Yeah,
on top of it.
well, probably.
And then,
They're-
and then others were invited to send postcards to the
yeah.
class.
So they did, they received quite a few postcards from the community. So
Nice.
it was a fun project.
So our guests have been Bonny Blair and Janie Hutchinson of the Auburn Education Foundation. Their event is May 16th. You can buy tickets to honor any of the 5. By the way, if you don't know the 5, it's still a great event. You hear great stories. I want to say one of the best speakers I ever heard there was one of the Albarisi boys who is a coach at, I think, at West Point.
Point.
It was the best speech I had heard in a long time, and I listened to a lot of speeches, unfortunately. It is worth going to this event, again, May 16th. We'll be right back with a second Beyond the Front Page, which will feature Dr. Brian Durant of Q Community College, as well as our athletic director, John Rizzo, to talk about the World Series that is coming back to Auburn and Falcon Park next month. This Tuesday, we'll have Donna Lamb of the Schweinfurth on, as well as Chief Matthew Androsco. We had to reschedule them from last week due to some scheduling on our end. They'll be in on Tuesday. If you'd like to let us know what your thoughts are for some guests or questions, you can send them to cozguytho@aol.com. Stick around. We have one more Beyond the Front Page in just a moment.